Hello and welcome to the Arkansas E-Traveler. I'm Landon, and after a 2-week vacation to end the school year and kick off summer, I'm ready to bring you a ton of news from the Walmart Energy EV charging rollout. Today we are looking at some sort of mix-up Walmart Energy had last week that may reveal the only thing that can slow them down. Then, I've got 5 new permits to share that reveal another Texas market rollout. And finally, we're going to look at some news tidbits showing the continued evolution of the Walmart Energy EV charging network. As you can tell already, this is a beefy episode. So if you don't mind, give this video a like, if you find it worthy of a like, so that those affected by these updates have a better chance of finding this information via Al Gore's algorithm. Also, consider subscribing if you have not so that you remain as updated as possible about this EV charging network rollout. I have a playlist here, covering all of the updates related to Texas, Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Arizona, as well as Washington. Your subscription helps the channel immensely by getting this information to those regions. Thank you. So, let's start with what could be slowing Walmart Energy down. Last Wednesday, June 4th, the Walmart Energy internet browser page was changed from showing 5 locations available all the way up to 8. I was very surprised to see 3 listed at once, as so far the trend has been 1 opening per month. I was expecting things to ramp up, but not 3 in one day. I checked the Walmart app and none of the 3 new locations in Plano, Irving, or Fort Worth appeared in the app. I sent out the information on X and a YouTube post anticipating that, like we have seen before, the app would soon reflect the change. Well, the app did not reflect the change. The app still has not reflected the change with 3 new stations. But the landing page, even 5 days later, had not changed either, and those 3 locations were still listed as available. But, as of Monday, June 9th in the mid-afternoon, Walmart Energy has created a second tier of stores listed as coming soon, and those 3 charging locations are now listed there. Earlier last week, in the midst of our confusion about the listing of these stations, Dawn at EV-Texans went by and confirmed that none of the 3 locations were ever open. In fact, 2 of them are missing a transformer meter and wrapped in plastic. So what gives? Why were these locations listed as available on the website when they don't even have meters yet? Answer? I don't know. We definitely now know that these locations are the next to open, so maybe a clerical error? But the last time that happened with the Murphy, Texas location, the error was corrected the next day. I suppose time will tell, and I'll keep an eye on this because I am very intrigued. But this reveals something else going on for Walmart Energy. For a few weeks now, a handful of locations have been ready for showtime, according to Don at EV-Texans. All they lack is a meter. I began to wonder and reflect on my hundreds of hours of watching YouTubers share EV charging construction progress. One thing came to mind, and some investigating revealed that it is also affecting Walmart Energy. Inspections. Don's and my own research of municipal commercial inspections reveal that Texas cities seem to have a slow turnaround for completing inspections. So imagine this timeline, and this is extremely generalized. Your contractor completes the construction after weeks, if not months of work. The contractor asks for an inspection, but the city inspector is so backed up it may take a month before they arrive. When the inspector does, his work reveals that changes may need to be made. So the contractor does the work, completes the changes, and asks for another inspection. But guess what? The list of sites in the city needing inspection has only gotten longer. So another 4 to 6 weeks of waiting. Suddenly, 2+ months have gone by and the chargers are just sitting there, ready. This is frustrating for everyone involved. Contractors would like to move on to the next job. Walmart Energy would like to grow their portfolio of chargers. You and I would just like to charge our EVs. Again, I'm generalizing and have left out a ton of intricacies to the process that I'm sure you'll be able to read about soon in the comments, but you get my point. No one, not even Walmart Energy, is immune to bureaucracy. And given that their begats are in the 4th largest market of DFW, the slowdown was bound to happen. At any rate, hopefully we all as EV drivers can offer our understanding here as Walmart Energy begins its nationwide rollout. And now for permits. 5 new locations for Walmart Energy have been revealed through the finding of public documents and permits. A massive debt of gratitude goes to AlejandroEV 66 and EV-Texans for finding these permits and sharing them so that we all remain as informed as possible. First, another permit has been found for a Walmart Energy EV charging station in Oklahoma City. This permit is for Supercenter 622, located at 7800 Northwest Expressway along I-40. The permits call for 4 Alpitronic hypercharger HYC 400 units, servicing 8 stalls total with 4 CCS and 4 NACS handles. In a conventional location, close to the garden and home vestibules is where you will find the station. Now, it's great to see this location so close to I-40 in the northwest portion of OKC, as it will provide convenient access to chargers likely needed for travelers entering or exiting the city. Next, more good news for the DFW Metroplex. Another location not included in the original Metroplex 15 is headed for Fort Worth. This permit application is for Supercenter 3773 at 9500 Clifford Street along Interstate 820. Not too many details are available for this permit application other than it is a recent filing and they wish to install EV chargers. But I think it's fair to assume that it will utilize Alpitronic HYC 400 units and include 8 or 12 stalls total. Good news for the western portion of the DFW Metroplex. And now let's head south along Interstate 35 to Buda, Texas. A permit application was filed just last week for Supercenter 4219 at 690 Old San Antonio Road to build a Walmart Energy EV charging station. The permit is to install 4 EV chargers, and the contract uses a new verbiage for this particular project. It reads, quote, "The scope of this project includes installation of 4 EV chargers within the existing Walmart parking lot." And my favorite line, quote, "Walmart would like to proceed with construction on these chargers ASAP." This is the first time that I have seen in the permits that time is being articulated on Walmart's behalf. While I'm certain we all expect Walmart to move as quickly as they can, or as bureaucracy will allow, I think now we see it being reflected in the plans of these EV charging stations. And for our final permits, we continue south along I-35 to the newest market to enter the fray for Walmart Energy EV charging, San Antonio. Permit applications for 2 different supercenters were filed in the last week and a half. First, Supercenter 2864 at 6703 West Loop 1604. This supercenter is located along the Outer Loop Highway of San Antonio and on the north side of SeaWorld, making it an ideal location for EV drivers. It also uses the same exact verbiage in its description as the Buda, Texas permit application, calling for 4 EV chargers in an existing Walmart parking lot to be completed ASAP. But it gets even better, as a permit application was filed for Supercenter 3888 at 11210 Petronco Road, also just off of the Outer Loop Highway. This location is just south of SeaWorld. These 2 locations reflect a commitment to placing these chargers at prime locations for EV drivers, and not just in locations that are along the way where EV drivers are traveling. This points to putting in chargers where they're traveling to, as a destination. And now for a couple of quick news items to end today's episode. First, the Walmart Energy EV charging beta location at Supercenter 5707 in Crossroads, Texas, changed its pricing last week. The beta location was originally free, then moved to 10 cents per kilowatt hour, then 35 cents per kilowatt hour from October of 2024 until May of 2025. It is now in line with the other Texas locations at 42 cents per kilowatt hour, despite only outputting 200 kilowatts max. This signals the end of the beta testing at the location and is likely now considered an out-of-beta site using ChargePoint Express Plus units. The difference between the Alpitronic hyperchargers and the ChargePoint Express units is very unnoticeable to me. My Blazer EV is so sensitive to thermal throttling that I actually prefer 350 amp charging over 500 amp charging. Because of the thermally throttled charge curve, known better as the GM dip at 500 amps, I rarely save any time by using 500 amp charging over 350 amp charging. But for those who rely on full amperage and high voltage and don't have a thermal management system as cautious as a porcupine in a balloon factory, this location no longer holds much value for you, being the same price as the other locations. Fortunately, the beta location in Supercenter 4108 in Springdale, Arkansas remains free. In other news, the Senior Vice President of Energy Transformation at Walmart, Vishal Kapadia, announced last week on LinkedIn that he is stepping away from the role at Walmart. Vishal is instrumental in pushing Walmart and developing teams, including Walmart Energy, in creating and moving plans into action to meet sustainability goals for the retailer. Now, when you've heard me say that Walmart Energy sees EV charging as a standalone profitable business, you are hearing me quote him. While I am certain Walmart Energy is sad to see him leave the role, he clearly built a team capable enough that he feels he can leave and they will still meet the goals without his direct leadership. But his post on LinkedIn implies he is staying in the sustainability vector and will use the growing field of AI to bring sustainability to more corners of the globe who are looking to reach that goal. This seems to be a natural step in the progression of his already impressive career. Congratulations to Vishal, of course, and we are looking forward to seeing his successor. The final piece of news is actually from 2 years ago and comes from the efforts of Don at EV-Texans. In his research, Don actually found a permit application from July of 2023 for building Walmart EV charging stations at Supercenter 5311 in McKinney, Texas. No details about the proposed build are on the permit application, but we know that Walmart canceled the permit application on their own accord. All of this well over a year before Walmart Energy EV charging was announced to begin in the DFW Metroplex. So what could this be? Well, I have a theory, but it is conjecture on my part. I think this may have been the proposed location for the Texas beta location before it was ultimately moved to Crossroads, Texas. Why the change? We will likely never know. But it points out something that I and Walter from the Network Architect channel often stress about Walmart. They are hyper-responsive to market forces. If a change is needed, change will happen. I suspect something did not pan out at this McKinney location, which is not to be confused with Supercenter 206 that was the first to open Walmart Energy EV charging out of beta. So Crossroads was the next best fit. Again, just an educated guess on my part, but it's a fun find by Don nonetheless. And that's it for this update. Leave a like on the video if you found it to be helpful or informative, and consider subscribing if you wish to receive more updates about Walmart Energy's nationwide EV charging network rollout. Thanks for watching, and I leave you with this fun nugget from the new home office in Bentonville, Arkansas. Happy trails.